They sent her to detention because she smirked during the xenochemistry explosion. That was the headline, whispered through the academy halls. The time human cadet Kara pushed open the detention chamber doors, half the alien student body was already waiting outside to witness the outcome. The block was infamous, a square hall lined with shifting crystalline walls that changed color in rhythm with the mood of its guards. These weren't ordinary wardens but seasoned warriors from the allied races, once sworn to uphold discipline among restless cadets. A sign that was meant to crush pride and demand obedience. Yet Kara entered, without hesitation, shoulders loose, humming a tune that made the guards' antennae twitch. The first sentinel, a towering insectoid named Rethor, snapped his mandibles in annoyance. "Human, cease your strange noise," he ordered. Kara tilted her head. "You don't like music? That's odd, most do," she began, tapping her fingers on the crystalline wall, coaxing out a curious rhythm. The wall, sensitive to vibration, pulsed with faint blue light. The guards stiffened. The chamber had been crafted to resist psychic force, heat, and radiation, but no one had imagined a human would treat it like a drum set. The second guard, a scaled reptilian called Jark, barked, "Stop that racket." But Kara only grinned. "This is called percussion. Relax, you'll learn the beat." Soon the chamber itself throbbed with irregular pulses. The guards, unused to human improvisation, began to falter. Rethor stumbled, his legs clicking out of sync. Jark's frills quivered wildly. The third guard, a crystalline being named Overin, resonated helplessly, his body vibrating until sparks danced across the floor. Kara's eyes widened. "You're basically an instrument. Ever thought about joining a band?" What followed was hours of chaotic curiosity. Kara bombarded them with questions, tugged at armor plates, tried to teach clapping games, and even dared them to mimic tongue twisters. Rethor nearly dislocated his jaw. Jark wheezed until his scales shook. Overin fractured part of his own shoulder in stress resonance. When she tired of that, she launched into stories from Earth. How children spent detention, with pillow fights, pranks in class, and endless chatter that itself became the punishment. The guards realized too late they could not outlast her energy. Their manuals prepared them for riots, not relentless cheer paired with defiance. By midnight, Rethor smeared resin over his antennae to block the noise. Jark pressed against the far wall, muttering about nonsense rituals. Overin retreated into a cocoon of crystal, glowing faintly to drown her. Kara simply yawned, stretched, and said, "This was fun. Same time tomorrow." Then curled up on the bench, fast asleep, while the guards shivered at the thought of another day. The next morning, staff found the room empty, except Kara, still asleep with her hand resting on the glowing wall. The guards had resigned together, their badges stacked neatly by the door. The story spread like wildfire. Human had survived the feared detention and shattered its guardian's will, not with violence, but with stubborn humor and noise. That day, alien cadets whispered that humans were dangerous not just in battle but in spirit, able to wear down the strongest with little more than cheerful persistence. Kara stretched, rubbed her eyes, and wondered aloud if breakfast came with coffee. The academy buzzed in disbelief. Professors debated overhauling the entire disciplinary system. Some cadets now stared at her with fear, others with admiration, but all with respect they'd never given before. For the first time, the detention block was closed, not for repairs but because no guard dared return. Kara walked into class the next day as though nothing unusual had happened, but the air had changed. Whispers trailed her every step. Cadets who once mocked her now parted in silence, uncertain whether to laugh or avoid her. The incident had reached the senior council, who argued late into the night over whether humans required their own disciplinary methods. Kara, oblivious or pretending to be, sat at her desk doodling spirals on her datapad. Her instructor, Professor Valak, a tall amphibian whose gills fluttered when annoyed, cleared his throat. Today's topic is resilience as a cultural weapon. We've all heard recent reports. His eyes flicked toward Kara. The room shifted nervously. Drethe, web-handed cadet who once mocked her endurance, spoke up. Professor, this proves humans twist environments to break others. They're erratic, dangerous. Valak hesitated, then nodded. Perhaps, but unpredictability is both weakness and strength. Kara, mirth or entertainment depends how bored you are. Nervous laughter filled the room. Some cadets whispered she was a planted experiment from human intelligence. The rumors only grew when a notice spread. All detention guard rotations cancelled. Officers reassigned to easier posts. Students wondered what kind of strain one girl's humming could truly cause. That afternoon, Kara was invited off record into the war simulation chamber by cadets eager to test her. The room could project anything from frozen tundra to burning volcano. Dreth sneered. Let's see if humans disrupt soldiers like they do guards. Kara shrugged. Fine. But don't cry when your volcano melts your boots. The program engaged, and the ground shifted into jagged lava, fields glowing with molten rivers. Cadets circled confident, but as the heat rose, Kara calmly removed her jacket, tying her hair back. You're overheating already, she said, watching Dretha's gills flutter. Thor Jr., cousin of the guard, lunged. Kara sidestepped, letting him slip on the slick ash. Balance issue, she teased. One by one, cadets faltered, not to force but to Kara's persistence and by. She wasn't stronger or faster, but she noticed cracks, claws splitting on sharp edges, insectoid legs snagging in fissures, amphibians tiring. As the air dried, she adapted while they stumbled. Within minutes, half the challengers lay collapsed at the simulation's edge.